Okay, class, reference angles. It says here the definition of a reference angle is let theta be an angle in center position. Its reference angle is the acute angle theta prime formed by the terminal side of theta and the horizontal axis. So it's always that little angle just between the ending side and the horizontal axis or the x-axis, positive or negative. Now, if you remember when we were building our unit circles, I gave you like little red triangles, and then the other one was like either a little yellow or orange. I don't remember exactly which color it was, and we used those to help us find those angles that weren't in quadrant one. Well, we used it to find the quadrant one angle as well, and then we reflected it into the other quadrants to find those others. And I mentioned then we're using that as a reference angle. So that reference angle is going to be that little angle formed between your terminal side and that positive x-axis, which you can see right here in the one that's marked quadrant 1, I just drew in myself. And the same thing here, marked quadrant 3, it's going to be that little angle. And then in quadrant 4, it's going to be the little angle formed there. But what about quadrant 1? Well, quadrant 1 they didn't put on here, but if you think about it, if you have a quadrant 1 angle drawn, so let's see, let's draw this angle here. Let's say this is our angle, it's in quadrant 1. Well, our angle here, if you look for it to be to the closest x-axis or the closest horizontal axis, as the definition states it, you'll see that it is that angle itself. So what we find in quadrant 1 is that our reference angle is equal to the angle. All right, to help you out, in quadrant 2, our reference angle, how are we going to find it? Well, that reference angle is that little angle between if I'm in degrees, 180 degrees and the terminal side. So to find the reference angle, we can take 180 degrees and subtract our theta. But remember now, if you're in radians, that's going to be pi minus theta then. All right, in quadrant 3, you can find that reference angle. And this time it's beyond the 180. So you're actually going to switch it for this one. You're going to take your angle minus 180 degrees, or if you're in radians, it's going to be your angle minus pi. And then for quadrant 4, to find that reference angle, because it's almost to 360 degrees, you're going to take 360 degrees minus theta, or if you're in radians, you would take 2 pi minus theta. Yeah, minus theta. So those are something you might want to go ahead and write down in your unit circle. Those are important formulas that we're going to be using quite a bit. All right, now for the next example.